It's Madden NFL 22 on EA Sports, and we've got a showdown in the AFC North. It's the Ravens and the Browns, and it comes your way next on EA Sports.
Fielded just outside the goal line. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. Number 8, Lamar Jackson, trotting onto the field at quarterback, ready to lead this Ravens offense.
He had the numbers of a game last week that if you win, you talk about him being a gritty guy, managing the game, getting it done. But they lost. So obviously 2 interceptions, 1 touchdown pass, that's not going to be good enough. Got to get that changed around.
Play action. It's Jackson. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's 2nd down. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. From the gun, it's Jackson. Going for the deep ball. And that is incomplete.
Love the idea, love the concept, but you got to leave a little room on the sideline so he can fade into it when he makes the catch. That was thrown too close to it for the receiver to make a play.
Crowd getting in it a bit already. Here's an early 3rd and 10. And a high throw there as this is knocked away, down to the ground and incomplete. Punter Sterling Hoffrichter out now on 4th down. And last week in the loss, 5 punts as he gets this one away. 46 yards on the boot. The coverage holds him to just 3 on the return. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10. Mayfield going to lead the Browns up now 1st and 10 at about the 32. A first carry now for Nick Chubb. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run.
On 2nd and 12, Mayfield. And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him. Odafe Owe. What a play by him. That's going to go as a loss of 13.
2 plays so far, a run and a pass attempt, and both have gone backwards.
Probably not how they drew that up.
Not at all.
Looking for a better play coming up on 3rd. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He'll let it go deep for Beckham. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A big play that time through the air. 33 yards.
A very early momentum changer there. Actually a dream killer for the defense because they forced a 3rd down. Felt like they had a good chance to get off the field defensively, and then they got hit with that big play.
On 1st down, they'll run with Chubb. And down to the 44, 5 yards that time. A check on the numbers for Chubb from a week ago. 3 touchdowns on the ground, and then Charles, he threw one in through the air for good measure.
Yeah, you know you have to account for him in all situations. I mean, we know he can run the heck out of the football. You just noted what he did. But how about him being able to get out of the backfield, catch it, and get into the end zone as well?
A quick throw complete out to Beckham. Well, you know, this club, there were some reports earlier in the week, and most have heard this by now, the so-called unnamed sources that were saying all is not rosy in that locker room. There's whispers that 1 or 2 guys, CD, have kind of had enough of how things are going and have been going. How would you handle that as a coach?
Well, you and I both know all the coaches that we've dealt with and come in contact with. They'd love to get their hands on those unnamed sources, wouldn't they? But they know that that's not possible, so I think they've got to go in there and make sure that this isn't a distraction. They also know that once the grumbling starts, it becomes a slippery slope, and it's hard to stop the fall. But I think you need to sit some guys down and say, hey, look, we're still hoping to be a playoff team this year. We need you guys to be bought in with what we're doing. Come on, let's get on board.
They go with Chubb on 2nd down, and he'll go down at the 28. Now after the running play, we've got a man down on the field. We'll check on his status when we get back. First down, Mayfield. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. It'll be a loss of 10, and it'll bring up second. Charles, a little bit of feast or famine on this drive. They moved the ball okay, but they've been sacked twice now.
And they've got to figure out how to plug that leak a little bit, right? Keep them away from the quarterback, because when he's not being hit, as you mentioned, they're moving the ball well.
And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a third down. I don't think it's a surprise they're throwing the football early. We expected that. They told us they were going to come out firing, but 4 for 4 on the opening drive. They like that.
They don't just like it, they love it, because now everyone gets locked in. Your confidence jumps up. Everyone's easy about what they're doing out there. And by the way, they look at the sideline thinking to themselves and expressing, let's keep throwing it. We're doing pretty well.
Got a man. It's Schwartz, complete. And he is going to have a Browns first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete.
Quarterbacking 101. Never force the ball into double coverage, especially not this close to the goal line. The windows are so tight, you just don't want to force it in there because it could be tipped up and picked off.
It's our time. It's our time. 48 Mike. 48 Mike. Hey, alert 33.
On 2nd and 10, Mayfield. And this is caught for a touchdown. Now hold everything here. Flag in the backfield. This one might be coming back. So erase the red zone score. They'll have to dial that one up again.
And you know how difficult it is to strike in the red zone because things are a little bit more condensed. You gotta go back to their play chart and see if they can dial up another one.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. They lose 2 on that last play, so things get even tougher. 3rd and long coming up.
An awful lot of congestion in the middle third of the field, but how about our defensive tackle right there? He didn't just hold the line, he provided some push and smacked the ball carrier down for a loss.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Mayfield to throw it. It's caught by Hooper. And they'll get 15, but that won't be nearly enough. It's 4th down.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx it.
This fielded right at the goal line. And able to get this out to the 25.
Let's go! Let's go!
Baltimore set to take over here for their 2nd possession of the game. And the last drive, the first drive for them, not very good. 3 and out. What do they go to here?
Well, you don't look down at your play sheet and say, this is what the problem is. Now, let's find out who my playmakers are. Get the ball in their hands and maybe the offense will move a little bit better.
Sometimes it's more important to get it to the right people rather than dialing up the right number.
Exactly.
Or the right play, yeah.
That too.
These are his numbers from last week's contest. 12 carries, 68 yards.
They've lost a bunch of games in a row now. They've got to start thinking a little bit differently, maybe a little bit outside of the box. Find other ways to move the football. I don't know if you're going to do it through the air or maybe change up how you establish your run game.
4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot.
And the Browns pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down. John Franklin Myers, he's the culprit, causes a loss of 5, and it brings up 4th down. Here's Sterling Hoffrichter now, as he'll kick it away for the second time. Wiggles free. So just a 3-yard return following a punt of 45. And out will come the offense as they take over. Now Nick Chubb of the Browns gets set for their next possession. And we checked the rushing numbers so far here into Week 6, and the returns have been really good. Now, you're starting to hit that stride middle of the season toward the end. They're certainly hoping they can keep up this production.
They are, because one of the adages in the NFL is that defense travels and defense endures even in bad weather, right? You know what else does? A good running game. And people want that, especially as you head down the stretch. You may play outdoors in some nasty stuff. You're trying to get to the playoffs. This is the time to get it going. And individually, I don't think you should just think about 1,000 yards either. The bar has to be set higher with this beginning.
They'll contain him to just 4. Second down.
So, Charles, you talk about this head coach, and let's face it, this season certainly has not gone the way many had expected or at least hoped. And I think we saw some of that frustration boil over at his weekly press conference earlier this week.
Yeah, we certainly did, didn't we? Because, let's face it, he's heard the whispers, and they're going louder that he shouldn't be around next year. He essentially stormed out of that meeting you just referenced with the reporters. How did he end it? We're done here. Well, that's a function of losing and all the pressure that's on it. Hear about pressure creating diamonds? In this case, it's bursting the pipes of the coach.
That'll be taken in there by Kenny Golladay. And a big gain that time. He's out of bounds on what will be the final play of this first quarter. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. A first down throw for Mayfield. Going right back to Golladay. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. 7 yards, the pickup there.
I do have to admit, I like...
And now following that last play, I do believe we're going to get a review here. So the challenge there does not go their way. This will indeed remain a completed pass. Flush to his right. And I think the ball's out. And this is going to get out of bounds. So they will gain a bit of yardage on the play, actually, and they'll hold on to the football as well. So possession still theirs, but now they face a third down. They'll run for it. Here's Chubb. And he's got the first down as he gets it to the 8.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and churn his legs for a really nice pickup.
Here we go. Mike 3. Point it right.
Working out of the gun, Mayfield. And it's caught. That'll bring up 2nd and goal after the gain of 5.
It appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
Regular. Check 24.
2nd down and goal. Mayfield. And this is caught. Touchdown, Cleveland. Anthony Schwartz, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. Extra point up and through. And the lead grows to 10-0. So that drive consumes 9 plays all told. And it's capped off by the Browns' touchdown. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now.
Off the play fake to Dobbins, here's Jackson.
He's going to find his tight end Boyle. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds.
When you get a big tight end like this, sometimes it takes more than one man to bring him down. Oftentimes your best bet, just jump on and hold on and wait for your teammates to arrive to help get him on the ground.
And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. Second down.
Let's go!
Well, every now and then we have to let a cliche fly, partner. And in this case, what do they say in the NFL? Your best ability is often your availability. And this is an extremely durable kid coming out of Ohio State. Carried the ball every time they even thought about running it. Wore down defenses and able to break big runs late in games. J.K. Dobbins going to Baltimore, an absolute perfect fit.
6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down.
Well, he made that catch knowing full well that at the end of it, he's going to catch a pretty good lick.
I guess if there's anyone on this team that can absorb a pop, it's him. A couple extra tight ends in the formation here as they line up 3rd and 2. They'll try to run for it with Dobbins.
Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. The Ravens send their punter out now as he's on here to punt it away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. This is taken at the 23. Only 29 yards on the punt there. Definitely not his best. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The offense trots back out there. Let's turn our focus now to Nick Chubb. We're in the second quarter. They've got the lead. The lead, though, not so much because of the ground game, because of their air attack, Charles.
So what they're seeing so far is the possibility of things loosening up later in the ground game. Through the air first, maybe they have to start respecting that even more as the game goes on, and then there will be running lanes to find later.
Yeah, try to get him more involved here on this drive, maybe.
Mayfield's throw pulled in by Schwartz.
And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland.
Anthony Schwartz.
His second touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year.
And the Browns are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
The extra point up and good. And that makes our score 17-0.
For as big and strong as some of these guys are, especially when you see them in full pads, it is sometimes hard to appreciate how truly fast they can move. That was incredible.
And that's the kind of play where you have to kind of catch your breath afterwards. So just give me a second here, because when he shifted into high gear, he was an absolute blur out there. No substitute for speed. We talk about that all the time. The evidence was right there.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line.
And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down.
So following the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 25. Here's Jackson to throw.
He'll swing this out to Dobbins.
And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense, because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it could turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
And it looked like he got the feet down, did he? Yes, it's a catch. A big connection on that one. 32 yards.
For an offense that has not found the end zone yet, that's a big play.
There's the spark right there. The big play that they needed. Now they've got to go ahead and finish this drive and put this ball in the end zone.
They juked him. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Well, at the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back to huddle and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal?
Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Denzel Ward.
And the Browns are going to take over once again with a football at their own 20-yard line. Boy, we've seen a lot of mistakes here in this first half, and another there on the interception.
Yeah, they're certainly starting to pile up, aren't they? Because, let's face it, we expect a miscue here and there, but they're already down 3 scores and still giving the ball away. If they want to get back into this one, they've got to take care of the ball, because right now the way they're playing doesn't say a whole lot for their chances.
Following the interception, Mayfield. And bringing it in right side here, Beckham. A good rally to the football keeps him to only a yard, and it's 2nd down.
You know, following up on this head coach and the pressure that he is under, CD, I want to switch it to you because you've been on winning teams, but I know you've been in similar situations too where things just are not going well. How do you approach that as a player?
It's a tough approach, Brandon, because you actually have to do the opposite of what you would think. You know, in your mind, you're thinking, I redouble my efforts, I go harder. In a sense, you have to back off a little bit. You have to do a little bit less. Do what you're supposed to do, but don't take on the pressures of doing more and trying to do your teammates' jobs as well. If you do that, that's really going to lead you to more issues.
Flushed out right. And he wisely will throw that one away.
That might be the 3rd down stop that they needed, because they've had a lot of trouble slowing down this offense in the first half. This might be their opportunity to get off the field.
It'll be a 48-yard punt. 5 there on the return. And the Ravens, they'll take over. This Ravens offense heads back out there, led by Lamar Jackson. He's got to dig deep here, doesn't he? Team's losing. He's not playing well either.
And they always tell you, don't press. You'll make things a little bit worse. But in this particular situation, you try and heighten your play a little bit. So far, he's thrown 1 interception. He wants to balance that off with at least 1 touchdown pass in order to get his team back moving forward.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth,
Yes,
and he's miles away and smiling.
And happy.
Throw right side here, taken in by Bateman.
And he goes out of bounds. It looks like right at the 50. A gain of 6 there on first.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Play action. Now Jackson. Dancing to his left.
And Jackson going to have the first down as he will get to the ground to avoid the contact.
Now Jackson on first down. This will be caught by Brown. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30.
Now that's the kind of big play you'd like to see. This first half, it hasn't gone their way, and they could use a shot in the arm, something to perk them up a bit. And they get one here in the passing game.
First and 10 here. You know, if they could just get 3 out of this, there's something about narrowing it to a 2-score game at half that makes it feel like much less of an obstacle. He'll dump this off, complete to Dobbins.
So that'll be no better than an incompletion. And that'll make it 2nd and 10.
That's a nice job defensively to make sure everyone was accounted for, because ordinarily you pick up the guys downfield and sometimes you forget about the running back. In this case, they did not and dropped him for no gain.
He gets this underneath to Dobbins.
So the completion good for just 3. And they're going to face a 3rd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
He's going to take a shot for the end zone. And it'll be intercepted. Picked up by Denzel Ward.
And the Browns are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20.
The Browns drive about to get started.
And with a 3-score lead already, this is not time for a momentum change, so I'd imagine they'd be happy to just take this into the locker room. And defensively, they're just looking to keep him contained as they're able to get him down. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. So we reach half due to time constraints. We move you forward in today's broadcast to the beginning of the 3rd quarter. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. A very one-sided first half, 17-0 our score as we get going in quarter number 3.
Let's go, baby.
Here's the Browns offense now getting set to start off this 3rd quarter. And they've got the lead. CD, what do you think the message was at halftime?
I don't think the message was too drastic, I think, at the half, or that they need to change things too much. I do think the offensive line could play a little bit better. I think they'll try and help them out more. They'll probably keep a tight end in a few more times and maybe add a running back to the formation to pick up those pass rushers, because they probably allowed a few too many sacks for comfort in the first half.
Here I come again. Here I come again.
2nd down, here's Chubb again. And he'll be taken down for a loss back at the 3. A yard in the wrong direction makes 3rd down tougher. 3rd down and 9.
All right, let's go ahead and detail this situation here. 3rd and long coming up, back near your own goal line. I would be very hesitant about throwing the football in this situation.
Maybe just run up the middle?
Yeah, I think that might be the spot for them. You got to try and find some space for your punter, because you don't want him backed up where he has to alter what he does.
That's out to Chubb, complete. And they work this out past the 25.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the 3rd quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
They get this to Beckham on the perimeter. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. He was unable to shake free there, and they'll cover him for a loss of a yard.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage, because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. You're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
Looking deep downfield. And this is incomplete. Oh, it looked like he had a pretty good line on that one. That would have been a big play, but he could not pull it in.
On every offensive coordinator, every play caller sheet, they have about 5 or 6 plays per game that they call shot plays or big plays, and you don't get many opportunities to dial them up, and they just did, and they drop it with a great chance to make a big play. That's going to hurt.
And past the 40 before he's out of bounds.
That's a pretty throw right there. That ball's in the air a long time. But it's right on the money on the right sideline. A really good route. Moving the defenders towards the middle of the field before breaking to the sideline. What a completion there. Big-time arm strength. Very nice route.
Meanwhile, Mayfield's throw here pulled in by Galladay. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so.
It's a nice completion, a little bit of run after catch as well to grade the yardage that they got. But it is so tough to cover that route, the drag route, because they run it at varying speeds. Because the key is to create hesitancy on the defender's part.
Always so empathetic for those DBs, aren't you? And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. 49 yards rushing for him now as he's run it 11 times.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. Play fake. Mayfield. Going out wide, finds Chubb. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. It'll be a gain of 5, and it'll be 2nd down.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it can turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
Eluding the pressure right. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away. Not his best throw there, but where we sit right now in the third quarter, he's had a pretty good game throwing the football.
He certainly has, and it's not exactly at the point where we're doing 4-minute offense yet, but they've got to think about, I'm not going to say milking the clock, but understanding clock management here on out.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Mayfield now. And he'll find Galladay. That's complete. And he is going to have a Browns first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
That's the 3rd time on this drive that these two connected with each other. They've got a real rapport going. And right now, it's paying off with big chunks of yardage as shown by that last play.
And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
And that's going to be caught for a Browns touchdown. Odell Beckham, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Browns take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter. So they called it a touchdown originally, and this will stay a touchdown after the video review, so they had it right. Point after, right down the middle, and the lead is now 24. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Ravens offense getting ready now for their first possession of the second half. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. Of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get them down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they do the interception and finish off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Shoves him aside. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. A gain of 4 last play. They double that here and get 8.
Despite the score, despite the deficit, no quitting this guy. He's running angry, running through arm tackles. He wants to change what that scoreboard is saying.
On 1st and 10, it's Dobbins. And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
They give those 2 yards right back, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 10.
I think this running game, or should I say lack of one, is making this defense look better than what they really are.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Escaping the pressure right. This is caught. It's Brown. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown.
This is something that we saw quite a bit at Oklahoma, and we'll be seeing it more and more on the NFL level as well. Marquise Brown going Hollywood.
And normally when you see guys moving this fast, it might be a fly pattern from a receiver or a toss sweep from a tailback or something like that. This was designed as a passing play, and then he got out of the pocket, and he just took off, and he just kept gaining momentum with every step.
Jackson here, he's going to look to throw, and he's got it for the 2-point conversion. So they tack on a pair more here to narrow that deficit a bit further. Well, it's still an uphill battle from here, that's for sure, but that makes it a 2-score game.
And now we see why teams practice so much on the 2-point conversion, why you have more than one play ready, because you may need multiples to throw out a ball game. There's a great example right there.
The football going back over now to the Cleveland Browns. Their lead down to 2 scores after the touchdown a moment ago as they start with a 1st and 10.
They start on the ground with Nick Chubb. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Now Mayfield. He completes it to Beckham. And they're going to have this in a great spot way down in Baltimore territory. And big play there on the catch and run.
Well, normally the first thing most fans think of with Odell Beckham are the one-handed catches, right? But he's also pretty darn good, Charles, with the ball already in his hands.
Yeah, and he's had a heck of a game so far. Up over 100 yards receiving already. And it's not all been air yards as we saw right there. He's so good that when he gets space maneuver, he can often turn it into a big play after the catch.
And you can see the distance traveled there after the catch on the next-gen stats.
You have fun with this one, partner.
Yeah, and he's been fun to watch under center.
We always talk about, getting to the next level, right? When we see people get into the zone, this guy's in the master class right now. What a performance he's putting on, just carving them up.
4 touchdown passes. Carving him up is right. Seems like everything he throws is going to be a completion and going in the end zone. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
Baltimore about ready to go on offense.
I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2-minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
They'll throw on first down with Jackson. That's into the hands of the tight end, Boyle. They'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. A gain of 6 there on first. And we're back now here in Cleveland. They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4.
Meanwhile, Jackson's throw complete there to Bateman.
And he coughed it up. And this is picked up by the Browns.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
You'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
I certainly know that I, for one, would not like to be on the other end of a tackle when this guy's coming at you full speed from his strong safety spot. Boy, that was a nice play. 2nd down, here's Chubb again.
Works his way inside the 30 on a pickup of 4.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
On 3rd down, Mayfield.
Got a man, it's Schwartz, complete.
And they will touch him down, but not before he gets the first. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
2nd down, here's Chubb again.
Open space inside the 10. And did he get in? No. Down at the 1-yard line.
89 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here. Chubb. Oh, he's going absolutely nowhere as he is hit behind the line.
It's a loss of 4 on the first down play. From back at the 4, here's 2nd and goal.
Watch 36 to Mike.
Mayfield hands it off to Chubb. And he'll be stopped about a yard shy of the goal line after a pickup of about 3. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on third, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that second down is a time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit.
And he takes this one in for a Brown score. Baker Mayfield keeping it himself from the yard out. And the Browns are looking to make it 2 straight as they add on to this fourth-quarter lead. Point after, up and good. And the lead will swell by 1 more. So that drive takes him down the field in 8 plays. And it was capped off by the quarterback sneak for 6.
This taken in at the goal line. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive.
And you see a lot of frustrated faces as they are inching closer to a 4th straight loss.
Now he steps away. And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage. From the 25 on second down, Jackson. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon, and it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. At that time, they pick up the first down. So now on defense, do you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going?
Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
I think this one offensively, this is one where you just say, let's move on. Let's not even watch the game tapes from this one.
Yeah, you might just want to throw it in the trash, act like it was never there in the first place.
Yeah, just say we're good. I actually have heard of a coach in the past who took his team out to the practice field and ceremonially buried the game films from the prior game when they got clobbered. That was his way of putting it behind him.
Oh, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. Here we go. It's Jackson on 4th down. Trying to lay one up deep. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. The Ravens go for it, but come up empty. And the Browns are going to get this thing back. Excellent field position. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Chubb will get the call, running left. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done.
At carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
Deshaun Elliott up to make the play defensively.
At this stage of the game, with the score where it is, the key here is stay in bounds, and he did just that. Not by a huge margin, but he stayed in.
And those come up in what we like to call winning edge meetings. The things that you have to do, late game situations, kicking situations, doesn't matter what it is, the things you have to do to win a game, and that comes up in that meeting, then you practice it, you got to be happy to see it executed, being able to stay in bounds and work the clock.
Coming up to the line, and they will need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. On 3rd down, it's Nick Chubb. And he won't have the touchdown, but he will have the first down as he's tackled at the 2. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair.
Come on, baby, let's go. Kick start. Come on.
So the Browns in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They've got it 1st and goal in a game that appears to have already been decided. They'll give it to Chubb. They showed off a nice juke of the defender, but the next wave there to bring him down. Only a yard that time, 2nd and goal.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive, and like you said, the way it's working. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. Just power football there, down near the goal line. Give it to him. He's able to push his way across.
Yeah, they went heavy there. Sometimes you have those big offensive linemen come in, have to report like they're eligible, but all they're doing is getting a good stance, blocking, and getting their runner across the goal line.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
Fielded just outside the goal line. And good coverage there on special teams as they'll get him down shy of the 20.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive.
We certainly had a sense coming in here that these guys were in for a tough one on the road. That has been how this ball game has played out. They trail big as we continue on now here in this 4th quarter.
And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. On 1st and 10, it's Jackson.
That'll be complete to Dobbins.
So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And that'll make it a 2nd down. Jackson from the shotgun. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
And Jackson throwing once more. And that is intercepted. Or was it? Wait, they'll say no. No interception. He did not keep the feet in bounds, apparently. So that's just going to be an incompletion. On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. And they'll play keep away from the returner as this one will be marked out of bounds at the 13-yard line. Pretty good spot. The Browns drive about to get started. And right about now, heck, they might be wishing they did not have a bye week coming up next week. It appears they're going to go into that week off in high spirits as they've got this one well in hand. Give them a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8. But, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to